Turn this music off. Well, welcome to Responsible Melinated Dad Hour. All right, this is work. As usual, I'm here pick up my youngest. I just thought I'd come on this afternoon. It's funny, even watching Facebook Live people. People come on and say, "Hey, y'all, who is y'all?" That's what people be like. "Hey, y'all, who are they speaking to?" I just think that's funny, and maybe that's a way to get rid of nervousness of doing this. I don't, but that's just funny. Watch how so many people start off. They go, "Hey, y'all." So, isn't a "hey, y'all" when people are in the room with you? Are you physically seeing somebody? So I guess this is just a universal greeting of "Hey, y'all." It's cold up here. It's 18 degrees. You see, I'm buttoned up because it is 18 degrees. Wind chill is not too bad. Not too bad for a Monday. Christmas week. Football tonight. Something to look forward to. But I guess I call this Responsible Daddy Hour. And I'm going to start off with a story. So Saturday, my daughter plays basketball. I'm in the gym. And while I'm in the gym, I see this brother with his family. And what was interesting about the encounter was just watching the way he handled his children. It's like his children all had drinks. I don't know if he brought drinks in or he bought them from the little concession stand. But as I watched, I just, when they walked by me, it's like, okay, brother supporting his daughter. He had 3 other children following behind him. And I was like, okay, that's good to see. Another brother, that supports his daughter. But that wasn't what caught my eye about him. Just him coming by. When they came back by to go to the bathroom or something, his youngest son, who had food, he has some kind of issue. Hey, did you get my read my soul? Did you get my did you watch my video yesterday? I want you to look at my shirt. Watch my video from last night. I want you to look at that jacket because one of my friends has a store. And this is a brother from India. And I bought that Nike. It says the dry fit Nike, but I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. It had all the tags and stuff, but I don't know if it's real. And like he said that like his store is full of designer stuff. And he was like, well, you know what a designer is, the difference between a designer and name brand. So, you buy stuff from an individual designer. But I don't know. That stuff just don't. The quality's not bad or anything. It's just something about the color pattern that doesn't. And then the Nike sign is open. Now, I have seen open Nike signs instead of solid, but that one just made me think, I don't know. Yeah, look at that jacket and tell me your opinion if you think that's a knockoff. I thought because it's an open Nike sign that it's probably a knockoff. But I ain't paying knockoff money for it, I'll tell you that. I think I still paid about $40. So it wasn't like it was totally discounted because it really wasn't. But yeah, check that out. But getting back to the father, as they walked back by, his youngest son was having a problem. Now, his other 2 children stayed in line, was like walking in front of him. He kind of was walking, but looking back at his son. And just the look of authority, I respected. I looked at that look of authority he gave that child, and the child's response of that look of authority. I respected that. And I was like, okay, wow. And I remember if he was fumbling with his chips, couldn't open, I don't remember. But he was just, the look that he gave him, he had did something that kind of pissed his brother off. And so the brother was kind of pissed off. I was like, wow, it made me respect that. But what was funny, and again, it's not being judgmental. So he was with another brother, and I thought the same thing. He was another brother supporting his child. And so as we were leaving, my daughter and I finished playing ball because actually it was the last game. So as we was leaving, I noticed the one brother that had just the one child with him. And we weren't like 15 feet out of the high school gym door, or actually it's just the high school door. He fires up a square, and I was wondering if it was a blunt, but he fired up a square, and I thought, okay. And then as I was leaving, I saw the other dude that had the 4 children, and both of them are smoking cigarettes outside of their truck. And I like, wow. And again, not trying to be judgmental, up here, you can't smoke on school grounds. Like the high school children that smoke or vape, they walk out in the woods near the high school because you can't, it's illegal to even smoke on school grounds. So I thought that was kind of funny. And it only changed my opinion of them was like this. People don't understand when you smoke cigarettes, your children to tend to smoke cigarettes. My 19 year, is he 19 or 20? I think he's 20 now. Yeah, my 20-year-old son smokes cigarettes. But my 20-year-old son is easily influenced. It's like if he has friends doing it and he's watching and not smoking, he feels like he's left out. So if they're doing something he's not doing, he feels left out. And that's why he started smoking cigarettes. My youngest son vapes, which is still nicotine. My 26-year-old son vapes because his girl used to smoke cigarettes. Now she vapes. And so, hey, run it up. Hey, CJ, what's happening? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But like they vape. Like these are people, like my 26-year-old son vapes. Again, his girlfriend used to smoke cigarettes. She switched to vaping. And now they both, you know, well, I am sober and gonna get my CDL. That's good. Yeah. But so it slightly changed my opinion. I'm like, okay, you show good fathering, but then, and again, smoking cigarettes is a vice. Okay, I get that. It's a vice. I'll tell you another example of smoking. So I have a tree outside my fourplex. It's a tree. We all used to sit before the people quit cleaning up after their dogs. We would all have a picnic table that's under the tree or, a patio table. But I noticed one time, and most melinated people tend to smoke menthol cigarettes. So I remember one time, one of my neighbors, and she's since moved, but her daughter came. Now, two friends are smoking cigarettes. I watched her daughter, the melanated lady's daughter, come up and hug the mother. Now, there's nothing but menthol smoke around both of them. Maybe the other lady was smoking Marlboros or something. But it was interesting that the daughter had already accepted that smell. The mother had been around, the daughter had been around the mother smoking where she was immune to the smell. And more than likely, this young girl will smoke one day. And from my lifetime, what I saw is young girls started smoking in 7th grade to give the illusion of being older. To give the illusion of being older. So CJ says, you think Bitcoin and other cryptos will get regulated in the USA? When the CIA took over Bitcoin, that was the regulation. I mean, if you believe that stupid ass story, the dude who created the dark web and the Bitcoin, if you believe that story, that he was so stupid that he kept going to the free Caribou coffee, free Starbucks to use his computer. He was that unsophisticated. So, my wife hates it. I should stop. It is bad for you. But I'll tell you this one study I saw, and this ain't overhyping, but one study I saw was this. What they did is it was a rat study. They gave the rat cocaine, they gave the rat heroin, and they gave the rat nicotine. The rat ignored the heroin, and the rat ignored the nicotine, and the rat was fixated. It ignored the cocaine, it ignored the nicotine, it ignored the heroin, and the rat sucked up nicotine till it killed it. And that is how strong that is how strong it is. It is, some people look at quitting smoking cigarettes as quitting heroin. It is that tough on people. So it's so hard on you. Like I look at people, I had a neighbor, his sister and him both smoking. They both older than me. And the last time I saw the sister, she was saying she got heart problems. But yet when I came out the store, because she's about 65, 66. So I see her in the store. She's telling me she has heart problems, has to go in for all this treatment. I come out, I see her sitting in her car with her window down, smoking a cigarette. Here's a lady that's telling me she's having problems. And like my great uncle, who was a World War II vet, had his shit removed from smoking cigarettes. He had a hole in here and had the microphone to talk. This motherfucker was still smoking through the hole. He was still smoking through the hole. So it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. Um, but I'll say this, brothers that have children, we see brothers all the time in their children's life. I knew very few brothers that didn't. Um, my one daughter wasn't able to raise. I wasn't allowed to be in her life. So my two children, when I moved here to Minnesota, one was 7, the other one was a baby, a year. Didn't get to raise them. Um, my 15-year-old daughter that was a baby when I moved here, her mother's brought here several times. I've went back. My son that is 23 years old, yeah, about to be 24. His mother had the means to come here. Her new husband, they wouldn't bring him here. They had the means. Alchemist, thank you for joining me. That's kind of you. So, but the ones here, like I was hardest on my 26-year-old son because he followed my path the closest. So I was hardest on him. I think he still has some issues how hard I was on him. And I at times I was wrong. Like when he was in 4th and 5th grade playing, I remember one game he didn't dominate and I just chewed him a new asshole. I was on him like, what the fuck am I bringing you here for? You are so much better than these children, but you look at how you playing. Why am I bringing you here? I'm wasting my time. That's not what he needed. That wasn't what he needed. And what he said, and he ended up, saying this to me. He said, I played for you. I didn't really play to have fun. I played for you. Because what I noticed is when he played in better competition, he played better. But if he played with less competition, he played the way the competition was playing. Up until I stopped playing, I'd walk in the gym like I couldn't be stopped. And really, up until I was about 47, 48, I remember at 40 on the semi-pro league, winter league I played in, I led the league in scoring at like 40, 41. And we had to play to qualify for state. We had to play all younger teams. And this was everybody was over 40 or at least over 35. We had to play younger teams all in our league because we couldn't qualify for state if we didn't, because there wasn't enough people our age. So it's like the 10-year run where we dominated this semi-pro league, we always played younger teams. And so when I walked in the gym, I was like, I couldn't be stopped. My son didn't have that. He didn't have that kind of thing. He didn't have that killer instinct in him where I didn't care if I was playing against midgets. I'm beating they shit, going down, dunking it. I mean, that was just my mentality. That wasn't his. But, now that I understand how sports works and with the beast, I'm glad that the thing didn't go further from him. I'm glad that I didn't put my children in that cycle because it is a cycle that could take their energy cycle away, energy away. So, oh yeah, CJ. Hey, PJ, what's happening? PJ, what's happening? Yeah, that killer mentality. Like really that killer mentality. Like even when we would go to state, like we played against, I played against a dude named Terry Durod. You probably no one remembers him. And I like put it on him. It was one point where I remember this game, we had them. And I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. We had them beat. We had this team beat. I had scored like 10 straight points. I had shot 6, 7 straight free throws. I mean, I brought us back down from about 15. We was up, let me see. We was up by 3. And this dumbass fouled Terry Durod. Terry hit the 3, and then he made the free throw and beat us. It was like we had him beat, and then all he had to do was really press Durod coming up. He let him get it, catch it, and he let him release it. Then he knocked him down. You know how they show Karl Anthony Towns foul on purpose. So, the Timberwolves beat, who did they beat last night? The Timberwolves beat Dallas last night. I guess Anthony Edwards didn't play against the Lakers because they got this COVID bullshit. So Towns had a good game too. Beasley played a decent. They brought another guard, number 4. I can't think of his name, but he had 30 something. So the bench players is playing better. And again, it's all scripted. It was like full. I kind of hate that I had my daughter in the way because I could have saw the Lakers play. It's been a couple years since I saw LeBron play. They come here 3 or 4 times a year. I don't know if they come again this year. I'm going to have to check. But I definitely could have went to the game. What that was that game Friday night. I could have went to that game last night. I didn't even know it was a home game. The football game sucked so badly. You see how they did the Brady thing. So the Bulls beat the Lakers too. That doesn't surprise me. I'll tell you what though. What's his name? Isaiah Thomas is going to help. He's a spot up shooter. I mean, the only I say difference with him is he likes to take the bounce and then shoot. That's the only difference with him. But he will end up helping being a consistent spot up shooter. But they traded away they consistent spot up shooters too. And Anthony Davis is soft. He sucks. I don't know why LeBron thought he needed him so bad. Here's a cat. Now I know oh, and PJ, thank you for sending me that clip. I didn't watch that Dallas game. I finished my thought about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is weak. He's injury prone. Why did LeBron want him? LeBron could have won a chip without him. With the nucleus that they had without him, they didn't need him. But the Barkley catch, PJ sent me the Barkley catch, and yeah, he caught the nose of the ball. So we see that the traction is that strong where you can just hold the nose of the ball can just come to you and you can just hold it. I've never seen a catch where a guy can just get the cone and just palm the cone. That is the hardest catch to make with or without gloves. So we know that it was strictly the attraction. And we see they turn that attraction on or off. But that catch was ridiculous. If I catch that on the replay, I'll put it out and show it in slow motion. But because I don't know if I can bring it off the way PJ sent it to me. But it's totally manipulated. I'm 24. I play basketball, tend to play hard the competition as well. My dad used to chew me out when I had mediocre games, but it made me better in a way as I get older. I just say this, that I never, I'll say this to agree with your point a little bit. One thing I noticed, say I was playing in a game where I was clearly the best player, but I knew I was the best player on the court, and this is just pickup. This is not in the semi-pro league. What I would do is, or even say the other team had a few more better players. But what I learned was if I passed the ball to my teammates, they would play defense for me. I noticed that just from watching where dudes wouldn't pass and then their teammates wouldn't play defense. But what I noticed was when I got everybody involved, they played defense for me. Because I could only play, my guy and maybe help on another. But what I noticed was when I would dish, and I natural dish, from my high school, I still got the tournament record. The tournament record for the most assists in a game was 11. I had 11 assists in one game because I played quarterback up until my sophomore year. And so throwing that baseball pass was easy for me. And I had a guy, he scored 30, but I hit him with 11 assists because I would grab a rebound. Again, I had a 47-inch vertical, so it was easy. Even at my size at 6'1", I was a great rebounder. I think I averaged close to 10 rebounds a game through my high school career, but I've always been a good rebounder. But yeah, but what I would notice is I come down, especially in the beginning of the game, I would come down and just dish to my people because I noticed I pass them the ball, they would play defense for me. And so if they could keep the game close, even if you had to win by 2, I could easily score the last 2 points. And that's how I used to dominate. I'll be when it say it was we up by 1, that was it. We had the ball, we up by 1, I'll beat all 5 of them. and I can remember just playing for hours. I just remember playing when I moved here the first time, just playing pickup ball. This dude was about 6'4" guarding me. I take him higher baseline, and I know him, and because at first I was thinking I was going to do a reverse, and that's the message I sent to him. Well, as I got under the basket, I just rose and dropped it in. And I remember 2 dudes I was playing with, 2 guards, was like, "Oh shit, we gonna hoop today." And we played almost 2.5 hours. We won for 2.5 hours. But I remember doing that move on that dude, the reaction of my teammates. They was like, "Oh, we got somebody that can play like this." And you can tell, the upper competition. What is my man that played for the Bulls and he played for UConn? El Alamein. I gave him the work. El Alamein. I gave him the work. Yeah, is that right? El Alamein. Yeah, he played with Rip Hamilton in Connecticut when UConn won the championship. Good brother. But I gave him the work in the Pro-Am League here because I used to just coach. And one time I had to play. He kept calling me old man. I'm like, okay. I bust about 35 on LL. I mean, he's shorter than me. He's only about 5'8". Yeah, but handles. But yeah, I was like, you can't guard me. I used to always talk shit when I wasn't playing, just coaching. He's like, well, one day I'm gonna get you out here, and then, yeah, I put that work on his ass. He was like, yeah, don't. He would tease me years after. He's like, yeah, you don't play today, you just coach. And I was shit. I was 40. Ooh, I was in, man, I was like 44, 45 that summer in the Pro-Am League. And I've told you years before, I played Pro-Am League when I was in my 30s. And Rashawn Leonard, one of the best shooters, my homeboy, but one of the best shooters. But we lost the game, and he scored 80. He scored 80 in the game. We lost. It was like it came crunch time. Everybody guarded him. Tyrone Dolman, 6'8", the ex-Globetrotter. We all open, and he shoots a half-court shot with, it's like 7-8 seconds left. Like all he had to do was just throw the ball down court. And this motherfucker did. But he had 80. He had 80. There was a couple games where I ref one game where a dude had 80. Yeah, mostly threes, though. I wonder, I often argue, was Rashawn the best shooter I ever played with? I would say him and Melvin McLaughlin probably were. Melvin McLaughlin was another one. I talked about Melvin before. Melvin, if they would have put 3-point shots up in the MAC country, the mid-American country that Western Michigan's in, because Melvin went to Central Michigan, Melvin would have easily averaged 40 consistently. Melvin could consistently hit 10 threes. I mean, look at what they did to the ACC when North Carolina State won the championship to combat Ralph Sampson's dominate. Because remember, Ralph Sampson went to the Final Four all 4 years. A couple years he was Player of the Year. But to combat Ralph Sampson, they put the ACC's three-point line inside of the key circle. It was like 2 feet. This is not even a key shot. You are inside the key. And Derek Wittenberg used to tear that shit up. I mean, Wittenberg was, till he sprained his ankle, he was killing him. But that's a short shot. You're talking about an 18-foot shot. It was like that's what they did to combat Ralph Sampson. 18-foot shot. A perspective gaming, what's happening? Oh, yeah, I could get all my upper body. Like all you see right here, I could get all, I'm like, I could look in the square. Like I could jump so high where all my upper body was over the rim and I could look into the square. And I'd dunk coming down. I would dunk like I could rock it like this and bring it over my head and dunk coming down. Easily easily from just a standing position, touch the top of the square. Like some people were 2-foot jumpers or one leg jumpers. I could do both. I could jump off one leg and dunk, or I could jump off 2 leg and dunk. I mean, one dunk I did in high school, I remember I was kind of cherry picking and my boy stole it. And I was like, hey, Jimmy. And he passed it to me. And I ran up and I did a jump stop. And then from just a stop, I jumped up and just brought it back and boom. Easy. My first high school dunk as a junior. Shit, dude tried to jump with me and dunked it over him. I had dudes, 30, 40 years later, was like, you still dunking over people? Remember that shit from way back when. But that was his hoop dream. Oh, Ralph Sampson. I saw Ralph. I met Ralph back when we were younger, when he was in college. I went to so many games. But I saw Ralph a couple years ago when we had the Final Four. He was there talking and stuff. So I talked to him for a minute. His son played here. Ralph Sampson Jr. played with the Gophers for, maybe it was under Tubby. Maybe under Tubby. I couldn't quite remember if that was under Tubby or not. But I missed, trying to think. No, my boy Tony said he ran into the team after they had beat Michigan. He went to the movie theater, and apparently the basketball coach had took the Gophers. And so Tony got to, because they saw Tony was wearing Michigan. The Gophers beat Michigan up in Michigan. And so Tony was, they was laughing. They was teasing Tony because they saw his shirt. So it's kind of funny. Hey, Read My Soul, what did you think? Yeah, Ralph Sampson Jr. was a bum. I don't know, D. That's kind of hard. Wasn't dominant. He was only 6'10". Wasn't dominant. I don't really think the Gophers have had a really dominant player since Rodney Williams. And Rodney Williams, if Royce White could have stayed here, Royce could play. Remember, Royce killed Anthony Davis and them because Royce was a klepto. because Royce got kicked out of a local high school and had to go to Hopkins High School, where Royce won the championship all 3 years in the high school. He put it on Rodney Williams, and so him and Rodney later go to the university, or the U as they call it here. And Royce got caught stealing a laptop, and so they kicked Royce out of school. Royce ended up going to Iowa State. And when Iowa State played Kentucky, who eventually won it, Royce killed them. I mean, Royce is only 6'6", maybe 6'7", but Royce put it on him. And Royce was like, "I'm the best motherfucker on this court." He really was. They lost to Kentucky, but Royce had 30 something. And remember, Royce was picked number 1 by Houston. Didn't stay with Houston long. Royce was kind of nuts. Royce was scared of flying. He had some mental issues, and the mental issues put him out the league. Hey, Necessary Evil, thank you for joining. Yeah, Royce was at Iowa State, but Royce if you remember that Kentucky game, shit, he put it on Kentucky. It was like taking no prisoners. Kentucky couldn't stop Royce. Royce put it the fuck on their ass. He was killing them motherfuckers. Y'all remember that game? And they was lucky to beat Iowa State. Lucky. That's why I didn't think nothing about Anthony Davis then, the way Royce did him. Royce killed their ass. Oh, and look up Iowa, the Murray twins. My boy, what I can't think of his name, but the Murray twins is my guy's sons. He played at Iowa, and his son Keegan Murray, they say is gonna make All-American. He had 35 the other night against one of the Utahs. All right. Well, you see the minis is here. Ethel and Hazel is here. Thank you for joining me. I gotta go. This is the Responsible Daddy Hour. Till we meet again.